Yo, Inca, you want to come out here?
Okay, so by the time you guys are seeing this, I will have, well, by the time you guys are seeing this, I'll have already played my week 2. As of right now, I have not, because here's how everything went. Welcome back to another week of TGR. If you watch the week 2 team builder, which will come out before this one, then you know 2 things. Number 1, Ted was on vacation, who was my week 2 opponent. Number 2, my week 3 opponent, Town Master J, is going to be leaving for NAIC on Wednesday. So we're fighting Tuesday, unless he wants to fight Monday, or if he wants to fight Sunday when I'm recording. Regardless, here's the point, guys. We can't fight Sunday, but here's the point, guys. I had to speed build this a little bit, and I definitely went with a lot of things that I would definitely do, but didn't iron out all the fine details. So this game, week 3, there are no excuses about how it will go. I'm still going to try 100%, but I do recognize if that battle looks a little sloppier than week 2, I do apologize in advance. However, I have already, gone over a few sets with some people, so we're all good there. But for the most part, just letting you guys know in advance, things could this could be a shorter team builder since it has to be a little bit quicker, and I don't really have much time to mock since it's Sunday, things to do, and then Monday I got work, then Tuesday I work, obviously, and Tuesday in the evening I'll be fighting him, so not a lot of time for testing and such this time around. Though if I do any testing and I change anything, you will see an addendum just like week 1, so just be aware of that. Now let's move on. Town Master J, as of recording this right now, is 1-0. He's fighting later in the day, Sunday, when I'm recording this, so he might be 2-0 by then. He might be 1-1. He had a really good week 1 for himself. He has Terra, Espathra, Flareon, and Sliggoo, Sneasler, Tornadus, Incarnate, Enamorous Therian, Gastrodon, Glastrier, Skuntank, Weirdeer, and Hisuian Voltorb. If you don't know what our team is, it is still the same. Ursaluna, Mew, Zapdos, Gutra Hisuian, Mousehold, Oricorio Bile, Primeape, Marini, Cryogonal, and Tinkatuff. So, really quick off the bat, just so you have the Terra types again, Zapdos is still Electric Ground, Oricorio is still Fairy Flying, Marini is still Grass Poison. I'm thinking about changing Oricorio to Flying Ground, probably for the remainder of the season. I'll probably have that executed for week 4, but you'll know if it changes. For Talon Master, he has Psychic Fighting, Espathra, Fire Normal Flareon, and Dragon Water Sliggoo Hisuian. So, I'm gonna say Gligoo. Anyways, so here's some notes, some thoughts here. First one says, literally, man, what the fuck is this? Because really, his team is really strong top to bottom, and it's a lot to prep for, I'm not gonna lie to you. So it definitely it's definitely something. Espathra versus me is hell. That's the second note here, but I'll make it work. I'll probably be fine. It's not, there's a lot to be said about Espathra this game, and I don't like it, but hey, it is what it is, and you fight what you can while you can. You could bring Trick Room, but it'll probably work out better for me unless his Glastrier is able to come in really easily, because I have Ursaluna. And realistically, I think that even if he does bring, I don't think he brings Trick Room. I think it's Espathra, Sneasler, Tornadus, Enamorous Therian, Gastrodon, I would say, and then maybe it's a tie between Weirdeer for Intimidate and Flareon. We could obviously Glastrier just because I feel like defensively Glastrier might not be the greatest, but offensively, if I can't get rid of it, it could be AV and then could do a lot of damage to my team overall. So there's that. I put down that again, Gudra does so much work, but that was a first thought when I had first looked at this matchup. Upon second look, it can still do a little work, but Sneasler's a bitch. And that would be my next point. Sneasler is a bitch. This Pokemon is hell to deal with. We also see that Mousehold can win out this game after a tidy up, and it could be Cryogonal Gaming Part 2. Depending on how week 2 goes, this could be the Part 2 to Cryogonal Gaming. Cryogonal for week 2 is really there for moral support, and since the game hasn't happened, I can't tell you if it really did anything. For this game, though, it could definitely do a lot of things. I mean, the real big issue for me right now, as I just mentioned, is that we're looking at a matchup where there's a lot of viable Pokemon, but the 6 that are coming are probably the most viable, right? Espathra, defensive, you know, speed boosting, terra fighting ass Pokemon with the fucking stored power, Terra Blast, Roost, and Protect or something of that nature, right? As far as I understand it to be, my Ursaluna can probably 2 KO it unless it's just like dying. I don't know why I yawn so much when I do this. It's probably because I talk super fast. Go slow it down a little bit. Sneasler does good work this game. I feel like, while yes, it is definitely in danger of dying to Mew, Zapdos, and Oricorio, after a close combat and an Unburden boost, it can fuck us up. So there's that. Not gonna lie. So there are other ways you can do that as well. I think it's fake out normal jam. I think it can just naturally just be a bastard because it's 120 speed. So we'll see how that goes. Tornadus, I feel like it's just great support if you want to have Tailwind before you die. But also in general, being able to bulk up against my team is probably not the worst idea. But also I have really good ways of stopping Tornadus. But at the same time, with how my team is structured, Tornadus, even like Choice Specs Tornadus would actually be kind of a problem, not gonna lie to you. So definitely have to look out for that. But it really depends. I feel like it could be mixed attacker with superpower and some other moves. It could be eject pack superpower so we can get in and out of a situation. And Amorous defensively with the Calm Light Iron defense set really fucks around with my team a little bit. Not gonna lie to you. Like I would love to bring goddamn Marini this game for just haze, but man, there's a chance. I feel like we have more than enough ways to beat an Amorous trying to boost against us. But it's basically his double boosters. He has great offense, physical and special threats. And now defensive side, Gastrodon and Glastrier. Gastrodon and Glastrier are really good this game, I'm not gonna lie to you. Gastrodon's just being able to tank hits from Zapdos consistently while also being able to be a low-key threat for something like, I don't know, like if he decides to run like a ton of speed Gastrodon for fucking Ursaluna, then more props to him. He does a lot of damage to me. And like Earth Power is still super duper, or like Water and Ground Drummond base type of ordeal still does a good fair bit of damage to my team. And if he's Rindo Barrier for something like Trailblaze or even just like other grass moves, then I mean that's good for him. I mean, I don't think he will because Bullet Seed would rip right through there with Mousehold. Glastrier as an ice type, maybe defensively isn't the greatest, but with my team, if you're preventing Oricorio from showing up, you're basically only worried about Primeape and the covers that comes with any other Pokemon. So I feel like Glastrier definitely could come this week, defensively speaking. As I said, Trick Room could come this week. Well, it would benefit me with obviously the Ursaluna, Glastrier, Gastrodon, and an Amorous all under Slow Me if they have 0 speed. So they can definitely make use of it better than I can. I just feel like if you can't get in one of those Pokemon immediately, I can waste time, get her Trick Room, and then just go to town with her Ursaluna. So it's an interesting game. So, once again, I don't know why I keep yawning during these. I've not been yawning until I record. Regardless, this game could be very bad for me. Not in terms of like matchup, but in terms of like there are several paths this could go down, and I'm very much unsure of which one it will be. So I did kind of just build a quick team. As I said, there could be an addendum if I feel as though there's something I could add, but I feel like the team I built is pretty stable. So Talon Master J, he is the coach of the Atlanta Talon Flames. So as you might understand, he's a big fan of the Atlanta Falcons. So I named each of the Pokemon after Atlanta Falcons players currently on their roster. So there's that. We've Kyle Pitts. Well, I'll just go by their Pokemon names, not to confuse anybody. Charizard from Mew does a lot of good work this week. Outpaces Sneasler, unless Sneasler is like just if it already has the Unburden boost, then it's whatever. I think it's interesting that it could definitely be very, very much a hard Pokemon to deal with. But with Triscarf, at the very minimum, Psychic Fang Zokos it. Close combat is for things such as the Glastrier, Sliggoo, Hisuian. In general, that's really it for those two. I mean, like, it gets off good damage on like Skunting, I guess. Ice Spin is there for the flying types, obviously, because Tornadus and Enamorous are dangerous. And then we have U-turn, because I will probably be leading this Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I could find out very quickly if he has a Scarfer on his team. And U-turn's also just fine damage for like Espathra if it's not Terrid. And like Psychic Fangs is mostly there because if it is Terra fighting Espathra and we can live like whatever fucking hit it wants to go for, we have Psychic Fangs, and that's really nice. And we should, because unless it's super duper boosting, or if it has Shadow Ball, I mean, we should be fine. So this is a fine Pokemon. I feel like Choice Scarf is really designated for this Pokemon regardless. And it usually happens for a lot of my base 100s. And, you know, it'd be like that. We have Zapdos, Sharpbeak, Terra Electric. No real change in its Terra, because Terra Ground, what would have been nice this week, not gonna lie to you, Terra Electric is better in my opinion. Just like in general for Glastrier to be able to hit us super effectively for Terra Ground would be horrible. But also like in general, I just like Terra Ground here a lot more. I feel like I could be Terra Ground. I'm sorry, I like Terra Electric here. I could be Terra Ground for something like the Sliggoo, like the Skuntank, like the Sneasler, but because I am Sharpbeak, if we hit our Hurricanes, Sneasler will die. It will probably die to Terra Electric Thunderbolt, and everything else probably will. Nothing wants to take the hit besides Hisui and Sliggoo, and I don't think it's coming. Assault Vest last year probably still be 2-hit KO'd, and everything else besides obviously the Gastrodon will probably die. And Gastrodon, I don't think, unless it's super duper Spidef, I'm pretty sure, doesn't want to take 2 Hurricanes. Thunderwave is mostly just because, like, I don't want, like, if I know, if I do a calc later and I have it all written down and I know something's not going to die in a hit, or if I know I would like to paralyze this, I will. And it's agility. So as you guys know from week 2, if it worked out, you know, agility is pretty good. If it didn't work out, it's still good, but maybe not as good. This is for +1 speed Espathra. Yeah, +1 speed Espathra because of speed boost. So we outpace it. We can Thunder Wave it afterwards if we need to, or we just go for our Terra, or we just go for our Terra Thunderbolt and kill it. Because like Espathra definitely, if it's Terra fighting, doesn't want to show up against Zapdos if we're kind of boosting up already, because that'll be a problem for him. But if he's Terra Psychic, then whatever. But I feel like Thunderbolt, like I said, a lot of teams, even if they have a ground type, still will probably throw out their ground type, and then Zapdos is basically just new Alecki, I guess. I don't know. But it is Zapdos. Enough speed for that, and great fucking Pokemon this week. We got Mousehold, Loaded Dice. This time I'm gonna get all 4 of my fucking Bullet Seeds. But no, seriously, if this gets in for free against like someone like Gastrodon, or I would arguably say, yeah, it's mainly Gastrodon, honestly. I feel like that's probably the only Pokemon I could switch in on where, unless if Gastrodon still gets toxic, then yeah, I guess that would be the Pokemon of the hour, right? But otherwise, even then, I feel like it would still just go for an attack. We tidy up in front of Gastrodon, and even potentially like, I don't know, because I feel like now that I'm looking at this with hindsight, if we don't do tidy up, then we just go for another move here, like sub. Or even to me right now, Encore might be better, you know? I'm glad I got to look at this again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll go with U-turn, because then we're getting off damage. So we don't really need tidy up in the first place, because while we would like to outpace Espathra, I feel like if it's Opportunist or Mirror Herb or some other bullshit, we will definitely lose the game based on sword power boost. So I think U-turn is fine, gets off good damage, and Population Bomb honestly this week does a great job, so we'll be fine. Low kicks mostly for Glastrier. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really think we need it, but like I really don't think we need it. But also like hitting Sliggoo might be good with low kick, so I think that's probably what I want to go for more often than not. Obviously, if it's gonna be boosting its defenses, I mean, I don't think it should be. I don't think Sliggoo comes, but you know, I didn't really have anything else to do with that move slot. I could run Baton. You know what? I'll run Encore, because if I don't think Sliggoo's coming, it doesn't make sense to run low kick. And if Glastrier comes, Population Bomb should be enough good damage to handle that Pokemon. We have Young Hoku, the Cryogonal. Basically, bulky, heavy duty boots. I wouldn't say bulky, but pretty bulky. Basically, this Pokemon lives a Tornadus superpower. Yeah, Lizard Tornado superpower from full. Not max invested, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it'd have to be like 4 or something of that nature. Regardless, right? That doesn't matter because I think it'll be mixed, probably mostly physical. So we're not going to let this die. If I get off a rapid spin against something like the Gastrodon switching on to another Pokemon, we outpace this entire team. And we get off really good damage. Sneasler won't die in one Ice Beam or Freeze Dry or anything like that, but we do enough damage to where it's a really good attack. Gastrodon dies to Freeze Dry, Tornadus dies to Ice Beam. So like if Tornadus is coming in after Rapid Spin, we kill it with Ice Beam. We do a lot of damage to Enamorus. In general, this Pokemon is mostly here to spin hazards because Jay's hazards, as I didn't read them to you actually, are Gastrodon, I'm pretty sure, Skuntank, and I want to say Sneasler, but I'm not going to say Sneasler. I don't think he gets T-Spike. I don't think he'd bring it anyway for T-Spike usage, but Skuntank and Gastrodon still get up spikes, T-Spikes, and rocks. I don't think Skuntank will come, but if it does, it can definitely get up T-Spikes, and I'm not going to lie to you, that'd be pretty bad against me right now. Not going to lie. So at least we have Boots, and at least we have Cryogonal to get away hazards. This Pokemon in general out there, Rapid Spin Boost, like I said, would be definitely give us a little bit more damage output, but at the end of the day, I think Cryogonal could definitely be replaced for something like Oricorio, but I don't know if I'd be boosting Oricorio or just specs. Given that his team is really slow, the faster of Mons would definitely appreciate Oricorio, so we'll see what I want to do. But Cryogonal is definitely on team 1. If I have a mock, if I can get one, I'll see about Oricorio. And he'll still be named Young Hoku. We have Calais Campbell, the Ursaluna, obviously. These are all male if I can, because obviously they're football players or whatever. Calais, Choppleberry, Guts, Body Slam, Protect, Close Combat, Earthquake. Protect is mostly there to outlast some Trick Room methods, but also in general, Ursaluna with Choppleberry lives a close combat from Sneasler. We Earthquake it back and kill it generally. Doesn't have to be -1 defense. Close combat is there just because getting off really good damage against Sliggoo and Glastrier is really awesome. Body Slam is mostly there just because we need normal stab, and it also does a lot of great damage. Earthquake is mostly there because Sneasler, like I mentioned earlier, but Body Slam is basically what we're going to be doing. It's also the superpower from Tornadus, and at -1 defense for Tornadus, we kill with Body Slam all the time. Protect is mostly there, like I said, to stall Trick Room, but also just like to see if, like, let's say Flareon comes. We have speed for Flareon with no speed, so it could just be max defensive or max speed F, and it could be going for Will-O-Wisp again. Well, actually, it wouldn't do that, would it? It shouldn't. I would hope not. Because, like, if I hard pivot Ursaluna on something trying to get status, so like, it's like Sneasler going for status against me would be a bad idea, so it's always going to go for close combat. But Protect also helps me just, like, in general, you know, seeing if a Pokemon's going to go for some random bullshit against me that I've never seen before, or Gastrodon, I guess. I don't know. Protect is literally for Trick Room, and among other things, we're never going to get status, so we're good. I guess that would also tie into the Toxic Spikes point, right? I think that also ties into that. Like, people aren't bringing Toxic Spikes or anything, so I mean, we'll be fine. I was about to check if we got defog on that, but we don't, obviously. Then we have Taylor Heineke. Basically, with this Pokemon right here, we take Earth Powers out the dome from Enamorus Therian, and on top of which, we kill it in 2 shots with Heavy Slam. Acid Armor is because, quite literally, if Sneasler comes in and we're at good HP, we will live that motherfucker's close combat after a +2 Acid Armor boost. And I'm saying this right now because there is that Enamorus, and if it's boosting alongside us, that's fucked. I think we just Heavy Slam it first, and then if it's boosting to if it gets an Iron Defense up, thankfully we do still 2-shot it with Heavy Slam, so that's really good. Unless it's max defensive Babiri Bear, I think it was. Otherwise, we're good. So yeah, I mean, getting up that Acid Armor is going to be tough. I think that against something like Gastrodon will be fine. I think it'll probably be more specially oriented with Earth Power, like Earth Power, Chilling Water, or like just Surf and then recover like rocks or spikes, or recover. Honestly, I feel like it should. And it's a really tough matchup. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like we have the matchup kind of not in our favor this week. This is the first matchup where I'm like, this is definitely not in my favor, because Jay definitely drafted a really good team. So We could see Oricorio show up if I decide to edit and get rid of Cryogonal for something like Defog or even just Specs or Oricorio this week. Because honestly, when you look at his team versus mine, honestly, Hurricane, Revelation Dance, Defog, U-Turn looks really nice. But the unfortunate part is there is that Sneasler could just Okos with one Dire Cloth. It's like Bandit or something. But also in general, like, I don't want to allow a Pokemon like Espathra to start boosting and eating hits, and then we end up in a really bad situation. And I guess, like, in general, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I go fully offensive this week. I'll consider it. You may see an addendum, you may not. But if you don't see an addendum, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's a bit quicker of a video, I guess, because usually it's like 30 to 40 minutes. This is probably around 20 to 25 minutes. But there might be an addendum for the Oricorio, or maybe a whole entire new team shows up. You never know. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this, like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and touch you guys next time. Peace.